Now, this is a question where I might use Desmos to just make my life really easy and avoid all algebra, because we could do a regression here, but I'm going to do that at the end. Let's do the more traditional way first, just because, I don't know, I have a feeling that the traditional way will work in way more circumstances than the Desmos way. So what we're going to do here is we know we have a line, so we're going to write y equals mx plus b on our scratch paper. And then if there's anything we know about that line right away, then we should start by filling that in. And lucky for us, we get a y-intercept, okay? So this is the point 0, -6. We always know that y-intercepts have an x-coordinate of 0. That allows us to fill in the b. So now we have y equals mx minus 6. Now, in order to build the full line, we need to have the slope, but they don't give us that. They just tell us that it passes through the point 2, 2. Now, what most people are going to do here is find the slope using the slope formula, change in y over change in x, and that's fine, but I prefer to just take the point and plug it into the equation, because that's what the x and y represent in the equation. They're all the points that are on that line. So we can just put those in and see what happens and solve for m that way. So 2 is the y coordinate, equals m times 2 minus 6. So let's plus the 6 to both sides. 8 is equal to 2m, divide by 2, and we get m is 4. Now, the reason I like that is I don't have to deal with as many weird things like negatives, double negatives, fractions. I don't want to deal with any of that if I can. Avoid it because it's just more chances for mistakes. So I like this method. It's a little bit more traditional algebra. And now I have the full equation of the line, which is y equals 4x minus 6. They ask us to put the point 20w in there. So basically we have a value for x, but not a value for y. So w is equal to 4 times 20 minus 6. W is equal to 80 minus 6. So that is 74. And we're done. That's it. That's the whole thing. So that's very traditional. It's not so bad. Again, this is something that you would do on your scratch paper without really any issues. And it's just a good reminder that our main strategy for math is plug points into equations. We were definitely given points here. But even though we weren't explicitly given an equation, since we knew it was a linear equation, we know to just use y equals mx plus b. So that's how we can usually get back to things like plug points into equations, even when we don't have all the pieces. There are some equations we're just supposed to know. So y equals mx plus b is definitely one of them. Let's take a look at the Desmos solution, though. Let's see if it's any better. You can put in the comments what you think. So what I would want to do is find the equation of the line that passes through those 2 points. And in order to do that, I need to tell Desmos the points. So I make a table. And 0 and -6 are the x and y for one of the points. And then the other is 2, 2. So there you go. And because it's a line, all we need is 2 points, and then we know the entire equation. Other things like quadratics aren't necessarily going to work that way, but with lines, we have that ability to be able to build the equation. So now y1, remember we have to do that notation, in the tilde is right here, so we're going to use that. So then, let's keep that, and m and x1 plus b, so plus is here. And you don't have to use m and b, but it's just for the sake of, the consistency, that's what we do. But now it's going to draw that line for us, and it'll tell us, if I scroll, the values of m and b. So m is 4 and b is -6. So now we have the full equation of the line. So what do you think? Was that faster than finding it the way that I did? I don't know. It's a lot of stuff to type into calculator, a lot of things to memorize about the notation. But bigger than that, now we're still not done. We need to get the point for 20. So there's a couple ways to do that. Since it's giving me an x coordinate of 20, though, maybe the simplest thing is just to do x equals 20, and then scroll up until we hit that intersection point, and there it is at 74, just what I thought before. So I don't know, what do you like better? Please put in the comments. I do think, though, you're going to need to know both ways to solve various things in the SAT. So there are times where we're going to need to build linear equations using y equals mx plus b in a very traditional way. There are other times where whether we have a linear equation or something else, knowing how to make a regression is going to be really, really fast and useful. Here, I think it's kind of even, but I do think both skills are important for hard questions on the test.